how's it going? We're just about to fire this webcast up, but first we want to take a second to talk to our amazing sponsors. First off, I'm driving the brand new 2016 F-150 Sport Edition. It's got the single console and the navigation. If you're looking for an amazing tow rig for your vehicle, go to my friends at James Braden Ford in Kingston. Tell them Ian West from FearFishing sent you, and they will work you an amazing deal. FearFishing Apparel Company, we got hoodies, hats, UV shirts. I'm telling you, you sick of those sunburns this summer? It's been awfully hot. Go to thefearfishing.com, click on the web store, and save yourself 10% by using the discount code at checkout, webcast. Liquid Mayhem, our favorite fish attractant here at FearFishing, is amazing. There's the man, Mike Iaconelli. There's the dean of Bass University. When those guys are using it, you know it's good. Swing by liquidmayhem.ca. Write in the code FearFishing. Save yourself 15%. What? R&J Tire Discounters. If you're in the GTA, swing by there. They got all your performance needs. We'll pimp your ride. Make it look amazing. Fair prices. It's awesome. All right, kids. Let's do the webcast. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages? Welcome to the FearFishing experience. It's gonna get crazy in here. Mark, we're wearing the same hat, bro.
It works for both of us.
It looks good, eh?
We're also wearing the same shirt.
No way.
We are lit.
You know,
I don't think you can say it like that.
No, okay, well, I'm just trying.
Well, we maybe we're all on the same laundry rotation.
Maybe.
Fish, tan, laundry. That's pretty much what's going on this summer. She's been a hot one. Welcome, everybody. It's been a crazy. I think it was 2 weeks ago we did the last show. It feels like a month.
Yeah, it feels like a long time.
I haven't had you sit with me in a while.
No, I've been over there. You've
Yeah, I know.
kicked me out.
No, you're just amazing at running the IM board. I already see it's lit up. It's
the numbers are climbing.
It's they're a couple seconds behind now that I can see the video.
No,
but
it's
you guys, you're coming. You're going to see this in a minute, and it's going to be awesome. Rich, introduce yourself.
Rich on the street.
Tricky Dick.
Tricky Dick.
I like Tricky Dick
Big
better.
Stud.
Big Stud. Big John Scott.
Everybody knows who I am.
Tonight in the studio, I'm drinking Red Stripe. The rest of them are recovering.
Sponsored by Red Stripe.
I really like this Jamaican beer. I had to change it up. Usually I usually drink the Paps. You're going to work tonight.
We've drank that before.
Have we on the show?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, we had Red Stripe before. You wanted something different.
I know. I really like this stuff. Amber likes it too. Folks at home, Amber will be here. She is just probably finishing up her last client at work.
Yeah.
And she is going to join us. She has lots of details to bring. She's probably watching this on her phone at work.
Details.
I don't know. I'm trying to bring some excitement to the later portions of the show.
Gotcha.
Don't be tuning out, kids.
Yeah, I gotta go to work.
I know. We're gonna have to at least kill enough time for you to just leave here to go to work on the energy kick.
You work?
Not very hard.
I got one more day, then it's vacay, buddy.
Speaking of vacation, on the couch tonight, looking handsome as always, Mr. Mark Hunter.
Mark Twig Hunter, wasn't it?
Twiggy.
Yo.
Twiggy, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yo, it's hot in here.
It is hot in here.
It's hot in here, yo.
We need some sponsors to pull out some AC for us.
Oh, that's not a bad idea, actually.
No, it isn't at all. Behind the producing chair tonight, Scott, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you. Scott Walton, a.k.a. Frozen Tundra.
Yes!
Frozen Tundra!
Yes!
For
all
you,
the way
Dustin.
from Oklahoma.
Yeah, buddy.
Did you just make that up?
No. That you missed something. We got some boys in Oklahoma that are watching, and they've dubbed him Frozen Tundra.
Frozen Tundra.
Yeah, Cali boys.
That's pretty funny. I love it.
Oklahoma and Texas,
I love it.
believe.
They're throwing out nicknames now. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Oklahoma is awesome.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah?
been.
Yeah.
Tell us
I
about
went-
Oklahoma.
I've been through
I
Oklahoma,
went
but
down
never.
to Tulsa
Yeah.
for the classic there, and I had a blast. I've never seen such a clean city. I don't
Really?
know.
Yeah, you were saying
Yeah,
that
it was
before.
It's
right.
not like
And you know
Buffalo,
what?
eh?
We went to this buffet.
Shit everywhere.
Fires.
We went,
Yeah.
You went to a buffet.
we went to a buffet.
A buffet?
And they had like this band playing in the corner with like washboards. And
No
banjos
way.
And stuff. I swear.
Okay, let's roll.
It
We're
sucked,
now
but
we got a
the
topic.
atmosphere
Now
was
we got
good.
something to top. Have you ever felt in Canada we don't have the culture they have?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
It's not the same,
yeah.
eh?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Like when we go out to a restaurant here, there's nothing like that.
I
Not very
remember,
often.
with the Quinny boys going to a restaurant in Syracuse. It was a barbecue joint.
Yeah.
And it was kind of even though it's upstate New York, it had like that real southern feel. Like come in, sit down, you're welcome.
Did you wear Daisy Dukes, Rich?
Oh.
I was so tempted. No,
In the big scale thing, how important is food to you guys in your life? Are you guys like
Oh, jeez, just
are you big restaurateurs?
I
family
love 'em.
fishing food.
Really?
Yeah.
When you go to a restaurant, what are you looking for? Like what kind of meal do you like?
the barbecue.
Yeah.
The
I'm
barbecue.
all
eh?
about it,
You know
yeah.
what? You know what? I really have a fascination
Anything I can drink beer with.
with going to the Big Smoke, Toronto, Ontario, which is about an hour from
Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
and hitting up those like really good food trucks.
Oh, the street
Oh,
meat.
the street
Yeah.
meat.
No. I mean like
Yeah,
this
like
is the
the
big
gourmet
thing, like the
food
gourmet
trucks.
food
Yeah.
trucks. Like
yeah.
See, I've
it-
never had them.
they're amazing.
I've had like like the typical
Yeah,
burgers and
yeah.
fries
But
and shit,
now it's kind of like the hip thing to do is instead
Yeah.
of owning a restaurant, skip on the overhead, kind of like what people
Yeah,
are
for
doing with
sure.
TV. They open this food truck and they're
Yep.
they're moving it around. They're going to events. They're loving life.
Yeah.
I've got a good friend whose daughter just opened one.
No
And
way.
She's in all these.
Throw her a
series in
plug.
Toronto.
Where's
Her-
she at?
Her name is Fully Loaded To, and she does stuffed
fully loaded.
chicken wings.
No way.
Really?
Yeah, they have chicken wings. They stuff them with like macaroni and
Hey,
cheese.
Scott, you're
gonna have to
move your
and
phone there. I
Pizza
get-
and
get
all that
some,
good
uh,
stuff.
I want to
feedback.
throw this out there.
Go say hi-
Do
say
you
hi
think
to
there's
Amanda.
any way you could get us a sample of this?
I probably could.
Let's do it. We can eat it on the webcast.
Bring
Yeah,
it
and
down-
then we're
bring
gonna
it
need
down.
some of that craft beer we spoke about on Twitter.
Yes, we will. And I also think maybe we could, we're going to expand the videoing.
Yes.
We may even be able to swing by and check it out.
Yeah. We've got something big going on.
We're making moves. We're
like how could it get any bigger than it already is?
it is going to get amazing.
Yeah.
We're making
got
moves.
going
We're
on
going to
down
do
here?
some new things. And we're going to film some new stuff. I've got a trip planned in September. Amber and I and whoever else wants to come and the Fear Fishing crew here, we're going to do some fly fishing on the Grand River.
Oh.
We went
we're-
That would be a show
be
of
like
me
the
with a fly rod.
Yeah.
Alora Gorge.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And
It's
they
a
have
nice place,
I
man. You ever been
suggest
there?
some super nice restaurants,
Yeah.
some touristy areas.
And something that's really cool is the Mennonite culture up there.
It is really cool. Have you ever been to the St. John's, St. Joseph's,
No, Saint.
Peter's,
No,
St. Jacobs.
St. Jacobs?
Jacobs.
Woo!
There it is.
Is that Orangeville?
Frozen Tundra.
Like
Yep.
Orangeville area?
Knows
Yeah.
where
No,
the meat's
no, that's
made.
like Kitchener,
Yeah.
Guelph area.
Okay, well,
It's-
yeah.
yeah, same deal.
Yeah.
You go through there and you can get whatever. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Setup. You were just talking in the other room about fishing creeks when you were a kid,
I wouldn't say I was a kid. In my 20s.
in your 20s.
So I was like,
Yeah. So that was like
40
when you
years
guys
Oh, here
all-
come the old
Yeah.
jokes.
Yeah.
So
No, you know,
Elvis was on
used
the
to
radio.
Used to do it all. He was.
There's an app for that, too. It's like this old radio shit.
No way.
Yeah. Anyways.
No, it's I used to do it a lot, and I probably haven't done it for like 20 years.
Really?
And I kind of miss it.
It is
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Just going out these small creeks,
think we all
many of them
started.
you could step across.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
just tiny. And
We're
they're holding specs.
we are a little bit behind here, and DJ added that the truck is down by Nathan Phillips Square.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah,
knew
no,
her. Like,
that's awesome.
That's
Say hi
that
to-
is really cool.
Say hi to Amanda for me.
We are a little behind, so if we'll get to your questions as we go, comments, concerns. But it is really cool. I miss creek fishing. It kind of like bass fishing takes over life, but there's a lot more to fishing than just bass fishing.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
for sure.
I like creek fishing. There's something special about a brown trout or a brook trout, speckled trout. When you get a really good one,
I used to be huge on the speckles
really.
up in Warkworth when I was living up there.
I
But
have fished that
That was
area.
really like the only
Yeah,
thing we
me
had to
too.
do up there, though, right? Other than going to Rice Lake, but nobody likes
Yeah.
Rice Lake.
There's a lot of hippies up there, eh?
Oh man,
Isn't it weird?
there's a guy that has this underground house.
No way.
So all you see when you're driving
Like a
past,
hobbit.
yeah. So all you see is like this grassy knoll.
I'm gonna need another beer for this.
All you see is this like grassy knoll and a driveway,
No.
and then there's solar panels up on top of this knoll.
I think I might have seen that.
I went up there one
It's pretty
time.
cool, by the water plant.
I don't even remember what I was doing in Warkworth, but I went into the
The gayest
It
little
wasn't-
farming
wasn't
community in
time,
Ontario.
was it?
I went into like a flower shop,
Was
and
this a release date
the,
for
the
the
old
person?
ladies running the flower shop had full sleeve tattoos. It was
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah.
they're pretty cool.
I
It is
haven't
a nice
seen them
little
in
town.
Forever.
It is a nice little town.
It's getting better.
Yeah, it is. They don't, didn't they have a jail there?
Yeah, they
It is
still do.
over.
It's still open.
Yeah, it's still there.
There's probably lots of
prison.
our.
It's-
There's
it's
probably people there right
not
now
a
watching
jail.
on the webcast.
Yeah, probably.
Fishermen.
Down by the water. I know a couple of guys.
They're
down
like
there.
they're probably like, we're gonna break out of here and we're gonna hit that Brookie Creek.
Yeah.
Not those guys. I know some guards
Nice.
down there.
Is
But
the
call them.
Call
Call
in.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah. call
speaking
in,
of
guys.
different things, I'm right on shooting the bow. We
Yeah.
went for a trip to Gagnons to get her
Yeah.
readjusted and reset up. I got some new arrows because
I don't even remember that. I
when
was
they
awake
go
for
when
like
they go in the
24
bush,
hours.
they go in the bush. You, like
you don't have
you-
any left?
No.
I did lose one. I think Ian lost one, and Shane might have lost one of his. But
Yeah, it was tough.
it
When
was
you missed
because
the-
the bow wasn't sighted in
Yeah.
properly. And then
we
he
were
went to get
off
it sighted
about
in.
8 inches at
Good
30
excuse.
yards.
But then once I
Good
figured it
excuse.
out, I was
Then we were good.
fucking nailing them.
We were tight.
We were
Speaking
lit.
of trying new things too, this weekend and next week I'm going to be doing the hunter safety course so that I can get out and do some bow hunting this year, which I'm really excited about, and trying new things. And you it's probably the same feeling that somebody gets when they first get into tournaments. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know what to expect, but I'm excited about it. Trying new things is important. If you keep doing the same things over and over again, life just becomes boring.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to keep changing it up,
Yeah.
doing new things.
Yeah. We got Jack Sayer, Lucas Kemp's
Yes.
partner. He basically says right here that he can guide you on the Grand.
No
with
way.
22-inch smallmouth.
We want brown trout,
Yeah, I just said that.
big, small.
Nobody cares about smallmouth anymore.
Yeah.
Screw Rice Lake.
There is some big ones in Rice, and we're
Oh,
gonna get to
man.
that.
Yeah.
Let's throw it out there. What do we want to start with? We better do something fishing. We're gonna lose our fans.
We need that door open though. I don't
Yeah.
care about the dogs. That
crack
needs to-
that
needs
door
to
a bit.
go
It's
open.
hot in here.
I'm sweating like a stuck pig.
You all right, Mark?
I'm looking good.
You're sweating it off?
No, I'm good. I work in it, so
You-
this is
Oh,
nice
so do
to
I.
me.
Yeah,
I've
we
got
could
being
probably
on
get some
me.
towels and just do this naked in the steam room.
Yeah.
The
Viral.
FLW Canada Rice Lake event. We're gonna have the
Yeah.
winners on shortly, but
Yep.
we fished the event. I fished the event. I had a good time. My plan didn't come together at all. Marley had found some great smallmouth and pre-fish.
Well, you did all right day one.
We did all
You
right
were,
day
what,
one.
One fish short.
Day two we couldn't get on bite. We got 2 fish, and there was a lot of smallmouth in that area when Marley pre-fished.
Mhm.
And both days we got 2 smallmouth. One
there
4
still a lot
pounds
of
and
fish
one
there?
3 pounds. No,
No.
maybe. But the cool thing is, that rod, I didn't bring it in yet. I caught that St. Croix rod with the, what was it, Quantum Dynamax?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
the one you
Yes.
bought.
Yeah.
We caught that.
20-year-old rod.
20-year-old rod.
Probably
You
like
guys caught some
$400
crazy
back in
stuff
the day.
between the three, between the
Yes.
the FearFishing guys.
Marley.
Did you not?
Yeah. I caught a shovel head. I mean, a shovel.
Full shovel.
Did you bring
it
it
was a
home?
snow shovel. No, I threw it back.
Oh,
I let it go.
Catch and release,
Marley
folks.
also,
It was slimy
on the
Marley's
same
boat.
smalley spot, managed to get a deer antler, a shed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is. He penetrated the antler
Wow.
penetrated-
with the hook. Yeah, good
Penetrated.
word, eh? Penetrated. Spell that.
That's not. So you caught
None
a
of us are
shovel,
educated.
you
Shovel?
caught a deer shed,
And a fishing
and you
rod and
caught
reel.
a fishing rod.
Classic. I got a lot
Yeah.
of messages too. I actually have had 3 people offer to buy the rod and reel for me.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I heard that was like in the 80s, like good gear.
That was like
Oh,
top
yeah.
of
And
the
that
line.
rod is like, I don't even know what you would use it for. It's like it'd be,
A meat stick? It could have
no,
been anything.
it's
back in
like
the
a
day.
noodle rod. It
Really?
is like,
Really, eh?
yeah, it's light.
Full of zebra mussels?
No, it's actually not in that bad shape, and the reel still works.
Wow.
No problem. I collect
How
the
long
roller.
do you think it's been down there?
20 years.
20 years?
It's got to have been. Like it's the rod's held up, but you can see where the water's corroded it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. The reel had some zebra mussels on. I just flicked them off.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
There wasn't a fish on it, was there?
No, wouldn't that have been awesome? There was maybe like 10-pound mono on it, and it was old enough that when you touched the mono,
Yeah,
it disintegrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you could hardly get a hold on it. So that was really cool.
Nice.
I had a great time at the event. Really well run event. We had the FearFishing booth. It was really good to come in Sunday, even though we had a small bag, and see the crowd wearing FearFishing apparel.
Oh,
That
man,
was really-
there was so many people there wearing Fear gear.
That was really exciting. And I got
to stop saying that too.
What?
Fear fishing apparel.
FearFishing apparel. It was good. We ran around day one. To be totally honest, I thought we had 1602.
Yeah.
I really thought we had a lot more weight than that. I thought we were well over 17 pounds, and that we were going to be sitting pretty. Day two, the plan was day one, we did catch some decent largemouth on the river. Day two, the plan was to go and get whatever smallies we could, because in the big sportsmanship of this, I knew where the top 5 teams were area, and I fished down there a ton, and I didn't want to go burn it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like
Yeah,
it wasn't close enough to make a move like that, but you know, it was kind of like I knew I should have went down there, but we went the other way, hoping that the fish were going to bite and there'd be less people.
There should have been less people because there was
There
a
should have been.
shit ton of people.
We
up
did
on
have
my end.
somebody. We did have somebody pull up on the spot about 10 after
Oh,
8
yeah.
on the day one,
Yeah.
who put their boat about 15 feet away from mine where I was casting.
That's why you keep a 1 ounce jig tight on.
I did ask him to to get off my fish. I caught
Was
a
it
walleye.
a tournament boat or was it?
Yeah, it was a
Oh,
tournament.
it was a
Yeah.
guy,
Yeah. Somebody
a well-known guy for
somebody who
doing
blasted
the same
off
thing.
2 spots behind me, and I'm not gonna say his name, but
Yeah.
he was polite when I asked him to get off my fish. Like he did move.
30 feet.
Yeah,
Really?
to the inside, and then he was nice enough on the way out to blast the boat off right where I said the fish were.
Really?
Yeah, it was a pretty nice one.
Wow.
That's where he hammered down, right on your.
Yep,
wherever
right on
you're
the fish.
fishing. Oh my god.
We did get one more after that though.
Nice.
What were you throwing?
Tubes. We were throwing green pumpkin tubes. That's what we got both smallies on, and then we ran up the river, and I was throwing a black jig. I got fish on a black jig. I got fish on the like a creature bait in the lily pads with a super heavy. Basically, we ran up in the river. We stopped. We fished one lily pad. I got about a 3-pound largemouth. Rolled up, got a probably pretty close to 4-pound largemouth on a tree about 10 feet away, and Marley caught another one right there too to give us our limit day one.
Time to leave.
And we should have ran to the Hastings area,
Yeah.
blasted her down the lake, and started dragging.
Yeah.
And we kind of there's huge fish in that river. So day two, when we had, we ran back to the exact same lily pads,
Yeah.
exact same tree, and limited out again. And then it came down to, I don't want to go down there and bust those guys and, or get in their way at all, because they're really going to fight this out. We need a giant fish out of the river. Basically, if you took away our day two, our fish were obviously smaller. If you would have taken one of those away and added 5, probably would have given us another 16.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Got real lucky. We've got 2. We would have taken us to the 18, and then we would have been right back in it. So it was right there.
You needed like 34 and change, I think,
Yeah.
to get that top
But
10.
yeah, he was so close.
We would have been
Yeah.
close, but it was a good event, and it's. I think it's harder to fish sometimes on your home lake just because you know so many spots.
Yeah.
Or you're like
Yeah.
overthinking it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think
sure.
that makes it tough. I did have a good time though. It was great. The crowd was great. It was good to see. There were some huge bags. I couldn't believe. I never
Oh,
thought
yeah.
that they would be that big this time of year.
Unreal. Smallies.
Smallies.
Yeah.
They are. It's amazing how big the fish are in Rice Lake though. Those are gigantic fish.
They are
Those
big fish.
massive fish
Yeah.
in there.
Spiro had a great bag of largemouth day one,
Yeah.
19 and change. And day two, the big fish of the tournament was 611, caught by Trevor Kunapowski again. They got big fish at Tri-Lakes End here now, so they're throwing down big weights. If you added that 611 to Spiro's bag, let's say Spiro would have caught it, probably would have given him 24 pounds of largemouth.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
23, 20.
And
I
we know
totally
and
think
we know they were in the same
someday
area.
somebody's going to hit the right 5 trees in that river and weigh in a 26-pound bag of fish.
Well, it
of
was
largemouth.
close. It was close
Definitely
once
possible.
before, was it not?
Yeah.
Didn't Spiro had like a 24 and change?
No,
bag?
20, 21. First day of
That's
the
still a
classic
big
that year.
bag of
Remember
largemouth
that?
for here.
Yeah.
And frogs. That was a
Yeah.
huge bag
But
of
then he
fish.
couldn't do anything day 2.
No, he couldn't pull together.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with. I don't think they're in a 2-day tournament. I don't think you'll ever do it with largemouth.
No.
In Rice Lake,
Yeah.
No.
I think you
Not
gotta.
unless you know spots.
You'd
And,
have
you
to have
know,
a
you know,
million spots.
Oh,
and
man,
run
you'd
and
have
gun
to-
the entire
Yeah.
time.
You'd
5
be-
minutes
you'd
at
be
each
milk
spot.
running all day long.
Yeah.
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 The you would totally. You know, it'd have to be like just the magical fishing trip.
Yep.
Like you would have to stop at one tree, and then run down the lake and know one pad bed or one dock, and it'd really have to come together. But the smallmouth are king. I can't believe how big they are. Like that's a lot of big fish.
Yeah, Shane and I spent 4 hours on them. Couldn't get them to bite.
It's
You were
really
dragging
weird.
tubes too.
We were doing a couple of things, and I don't mind saying it because we didn't catch anything on them. But we were dragging tubes. I was dragging a jig
Yeah.
and drop shot, like dragging drop shot because we couldn't get them vertical at all.
Really.
Yeah, and like
Slow,
you said,
slow,
I
slow.
think half of them might have been perch, like clouds
Yep,
of
for
perch,
sure.
because
On
there
the
was
fish
big
finder.
hooks, but there was a lot
I think
of
they were
them.
perch.
Was the wind why you went into the river? Was it pretty,
No.
pretty
No,
choppy
No,
the
there,
wind,
was
no,
the
it
wind-
was
wind
good.
wasn't that
Was
bad.
it? No.
No.
Marley caught our fish in pre-fish too in the wind, so we were good about the wind. They just
Yeah.
weren't. They wouldn't bite 2 fish and it was done both days.
Yeah, and it wasn't like we were in bad areas because everywhere
Mm-hmm.
I went there was top 10 guys.
Yeah,
It's just I don't
it's
know.
just tournaments, right?
Yeah,
That's the big thing. As much as everybody's great anglers, there's a lot of luck that plays into this too.
Sure there is. Yeah.
Absolutely.
well, and as Dan will elaborate on day 2, it sounds almost like it was a lot of skill involved, obviously, but and you know where to go, but
I saw a
there must have
post
been a lot
on
of luck.
Facebook too that Coop caught a 4-pounder on his last cast.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a lucky fish because if he would have just stopped one cast
Well, he said he
before,
would have had like 14 or 15 pounds.
yeah,
Right. So
I fished Westland Coombe yesterday.
yes,
We tried to scrape. We caught probably 60, 70 fish, but they were all 10 inches.
yeah, there's a lot of fish there.
3-4 minutes to go in the tournament. Like this was like 5-3. We only had 4 fish.
Really?
In the well.
Wow.
The last cast of the day, my non throws in 5 and change.
Wow.
One is big fish and got us our limit. And I think we came 4th or 5th.
we
Nice.
finished third on Rice one
good.
time
Yeah,
in a
it was
top bass
crazy.
event, and on the way back, for some reason, we stopped at a pile of docks and called 2 fish in the last 10 minutes off the same dock.
Just
Yeah.
from previous experience.
No, just like we got to
Hey, that
do
looks
something that looks good.
Yeah.
It's kind of those docks are out of the way.
Yeah.
Because the big thing when everybody's running back, Golden Beach is a good place to have a tournament because there's no like docks to beat up at the end
No.
of the day.
Food,
No,
too.
you still have to run.
You gotta
at least
run.
5 or 6 minutes just to get
So
back.
when it used to be held in Bewdley on the way back, I was like, those are out of the way. We realistically need one fish to
Yeah.
top 10 here. So we drove in. It was probably the 3rd dock we fished. I cast a flipping jig to the front of the dock and it takes out.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's another one in there. He's trying to get away from him.
exactly. Yeah.
I hadn't even landed the fish. Marley cast in and caught the other one.
Nice.
You should touch on that. Let people know that.
Teamwork.
People that didn't hear that.
If the theory is, and I'm willing to bet, if you flip into a dock and the fish heads back into the dock, he's the only one in there. If you flip into the dock and he comes out, it means there's another fish in there and he's grabbed the bait and he wants away from the other fish.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
That's
go
why
back.
You're always going to see
Yeah.
those followers too. Come.
Yep, for sure.
That's
the boat.
that's the tip of the day, guys. out
Yeah.
there.
And,
Yeah.
and here's the big thing too. If you see one, like let's say you hook one and you see his buddy come out, he's going back in that dock.
Sure he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is keep fishing, but remember, there's a fish under that dock.
Go back.
110%.
Go
Come
back.
back.
That's right.
And Shane and I did that too. We got one.
Really?
That was after that big fish I got. It was
Yep.
485, and we went back and got another one on the Sunday.
Okay.
And there was another one under there. It was a low 3. But
Nice.
And it's not. You know that fish is under there. So don't be afraid to cast more than once to it.
Oh, man.
You know?
oh, keep
And
going.
man.
it
Soak
takes
it.
5, 6, 10 casts.
Yeah.
I'm telling
Pitches,
you,
whatever, do it.
They'll bite.
Yeah,
within
they'll bite.
15 minutes of fishing both days in a lily pad and 2 trees. We caught 8 fish.
Nice.
And we fished it. I knew they were there.
Right? I was told that Rice Lake, and maybe Dan can elaborate on this because I think it actually came from Dan Miguel, was that Rice Lake has more fish per square meter than almost any other
That's true.
lake.
I heard that from the MNR. Than any other of the Kawartha
I think it's
lakes.
like 6.
Really?
I
six
heard
fish
from
per square
somebody,
meter or something like that, or
from the MNR that there's more fish in Rice Lake than all the rest of the Kawarthas put together.
Well, it's also the largest lake, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, by far.
but
Yeah.
but I mean,
By
there's
far.
still a lot of fish.
That's a lot of fish,
Like
right?
the size of your boat, there's like 10 fish.
I don't know
basically,
if that's
right?
true.
Well, I mean,
That
Well, I
seems
can't wait for
it's quite
Saturday.
possible. What are you doing there Saturday?
Aren't you doing it?
No, I am not.
Bagsies thing?
This weekend, I'm going to go look at cameras on Saturday,
okay.
and I'm
We've
going
got
to do
big
some
shit happening.
I heard.
the big thing. The problem that's happened is that there's no time between working and tournaments and pre-fishing and editing and filming and
Yeah.
podcasts. There's no time, and I haven't spent any time with Amber. That wasn't, hey, how are the sales at the FearFishing booth?
Really, yeah.
That's it. I haven't seen Amber at all. Working shift work. I'm on afternoons, and then midnights, and then day shift. And on day shift, we take a total advantage because we're doing fishing stuff.
Mhm.
So Saturday, we're gonna hang out. We intended on fishing Beggars Derby, and we were gonna pre-fish, and then Amber booked the day off. So I was like, why don't we do something a little different? And we'll spend some time together.
You, freak.
At Future Shop.
No, we're going bigger than that, kids.
Oh,
Walmart.
are you?
Walmart.
Where are you going? You going to Walmart?
We're gonna go to- we're gonna go
second mortgage big.
We're gonna
Just-
go. We're gonna go check out Henry's Camera Supplies.
Henry's, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go do that tour and check things out. So I'm excited. Anybody out there
I'll
can
see
make
you,
some
Mark.
suggestions.
Yeah, if anybody's got any
I'll see you
hookups
there,
for
Mark.
camera guys.
Yeah, and I fished Beggars last year. It's a great event. You guys are gonna have a blast.
Yeah,
I
it's
wanted
fun.
to do it with Hannah, but my daughter, she's got the big races and stuff at the park. So
Bigger and better things.
Well,
to
let's
do.
talk about
Yeah,
Hannah is your daughter,
yes, she is.
and Emma's my stepdaughter,
that.
and they work the FLW.
And they do great, man. They
Oh yeah,
work their
they run
butts
their
off.
asses
Yeah.
off.
They
Hannah
work
gets
hard.
excited for it too.
She is.
Yeah.
They're both just so happy and polite, and
Yeah.
they're just happy to be there, and we don't see that a lot in fishing.
No, I weighed in my fish.
Amber
and I was
was-
standing there talking to this guy and Jamie Bragg, and Hannah standing there with my bag of fish, like, "Come on, let's go."
Yeah.
But she wouldn't say anything.
They don't want to be rude, but I hear all the stories afterwards, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Man, they don't take their fish.
No.
What are you guys doing?" And Hannah's always got that big smile on her face,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Your fish."
Yeah. She was
Come
telling
Take
me
them
all
back.
We got back to the house after, and she was telling me all the names. People called me Sweetie, and they called me Dear, and they called me Kiddo, and they called me all these names. They were
But that's really good. Amber ran the tanks. Your wife ran the FearFishing booth
She did.
with
Thank
your
you,
help.
Joan.
Yes, thank you, Joan. She's amazing. She it's awesome. I think that's one of the best parts of fishing FLW this year has been that it's more than it's ever been in my tournament career. You know, friends and family and everybody hanging out. And when we go to Cornwall, we're getting a big cottage.
We're getting a beautiful.
We got a cottage. We got a
You should
hot
see
tub.
this thing.
We got an in-ground pool. We're on an island on the St. Lawrence.
Yeah.
What?
We have got a whole
Don't
crew.
forget to pre-fish that island.
Yes, for sure. I will
Don't make
during
the
the week.
same
During
Big
the week,
Rideau
I'll just
mistakes.
keep running around circles.
You're like 20 minutes from Cornwall or something.
Yes,
And
no
it's
big deal.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that'll be exciting. Hopefully, we're going to do some filming at the cottage, where we can bring the folks at home the experience of not just the thing about fishing is it's not just fishing that's the big experience. It's the whole thing. And I've had a blast this
Yeah.
year just hanging out
Oh, yeah,
after.
it's been fun.
It has been a blast. With that, Scott, could you bring our champs into the show?
Oh, yes. Let's get them on here.
The champ is here.
It's been a blast. It's been a good season so far. We're going to do some more big things. I'm excited to do some filming.
Should be good.
We haven't had a new video
we've-
since.
We've got to point to something now. Videos will be bigger and better.
Yeah, they will. Totally. Whoa, here we go.
What's up, folks?
Good day, folks.
What's going on? How's it going?
Good, man. We just need you guys to hit your camera button.
Boom.
Whoa.
Not better?
Yes, it is. And you just adjust the screen there?
It's good on here.
Oh, is it?
Oh wait, never
Nope.
mind.
Just adjust
Different
just
screen.
that. Sorry, guys.
I,
What do you want me to do there?
No,
not
it's us.
you,
It's us.
Our
Yeah,
producer's
just make
fault.
that smaller. Yeah, it's our producer. Just make our screen smaller there, Scout. Guys, congratulations.
Yes, big time.
Well done, gentlemen.
Thanks, man. Thank you very much.
That is
there we go.
There he is.
those
Look
are
at
some
that.
big sacks of
Smile.
fish, guys.
We're just cutting Rich out now.
Yeah, that's okay.
When you went out there, did you think it was possible to do 22 pounds both days in July on rice?
Yeah, absolutely. Last year we learned that lesson the hard way. We brought in upper 21s, or just shy of 21, and we thought we had it on day one of CSFL last year.
Yep.
And the Johnsons brought in over 23 pounds,
Yeah.
fishing in a similar area to us. And that day we kind of figured out that that lake can produce a massive weight. To be honest,
You can do better.
we could do a lot better. We definitely feel like we left fish out there, believe it or not. So I think we're going to start to see some 24, 25-pound bags over the next couple of years.
That's insane. And we were just talking now that Rice Lake's a big fish factory, and at some point, I honestly believe that if somebody can hit those river largemouth properly on the dream day, somebody's bringing in 25 or 26 pounds of largemouth, no problem.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were talking about, we caught a fish that was like 5, what was our big one, like 5.36 or something? And I went, there's no way that's going to hold for big fish. The buckets there are just massive. And
They're way too big.
Yeah.
They're huge.
And if somebody has that dream day where they just hit the 5 right spots, where it's going to blow people's minds.
Oh, yeah. I think you can do over 25 with those fish if you hit the right ones.
Yep.
Like, there was a 6-pounder caught out there. And lots of, mid-5s, right?
Yep.
Huge. Just huge.
Yeah, I mean, to put that first day into perspective, we had the bag pretty much at 12 o'clock.
Yep.
We came in, one of our fish was doing pretty lousy there once we landed it, and so we weighed in 4 of our fish for 1877. We kept our small one, which was just shy of 4, and we decided to lay off our big fish areas just for the next day. So I can't imagine if it was a one-day tournament. I firmly believe with 4 hours left in the day, we could have got a bigger one.
Oh yeah,
That's
for sure.
insane. Well, walk us through what you guys did. Did you pre-fish the shit out of it, or did you I told Marley before we blasted off that I bet Dan's gonna win this, and I can't. You guys have really stepped your game up over the last few years, especially on Rice Lake and all over. And I thought if they get the fish, that's the team that's going to win. They've done really well consistently out there. They're getting them.
I just got to point out something there.
What's that?
Jamie Bragg commented here, and he says, "Look at that trophy placement."
Yeah,
Fly.
for sure. We see the trophy. Yeah. Don't
I
worry.
put that there. I was like, oh
Yeah.
man, it might be the only one I ever win. So
Did you pre-fish it, or did you have you been doing the same pattern?
yeah,
We did pre-fish. We actually had an amazing pre-fish. We were out there on the water for maybe half an hour. We hit a couple spots, and they were on them. And we went, okay, let's go back to work.
Yep.
Gone. We literally packed up, and we were back here. We both live in Ajax.
Yeah.
And we were back in Ajax, back to work at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
And
So that
I-
was midweek. We just like Brian said, we probably took 10 casts, caught 2 fish in the 4-pound range, and we're like, yeah, that's good.
Okay.
We're good.
And
Yeah.
and I think that's I watched the Swindle Bass University where he talks about he used to think that he had to pre-fish from sun up to sundown, or he was doing himself injustice. But after he had his mind coach, anything as soon as you're comfortable and you think you know what you're going to do, anything after that is a waste of time because you're not processing information.
Yep.
And this is a perfect example of that, right? You could have run around and screwed with your own head, but you knew what you were doing, right?
Yeah, no, we felt it didn't matter what we found out there for the rest of the day. We weren't going to change our game plan going in. So,
But it actually kind of came back on us where pre-fish was a little bit too good in our heads.
Yeah.
And that second day did not pan out like that whatsoever. Whatsoever.
Yeah, I also want to emphasize that we it definitely did not go as well as pre-fish.
Like,
It
not
was
even close.
Not even close.
So
it was tough.
You weigh in day one, you're in the lead by a pound, I think, a little over a pound.
Pound.
Was that the position you wanted to be in, or because it's yours to lose at that point, or would have you felt better going in as second and letting the pressure be on somebody else?
No, I think on day one we knew going in that we wanted to be anywhere between 22 and 23 pounds.
Yeah, that was our goal.
That was your goal?
Yeah.
So
whatever else, like whatever place we were in didn't matter.
Yeah.
Now you got up day 2. You're excited. You're pumped. You know there's some fish there. Walk us through the day.
Okay. Pretty simple. We crawl to our spot with my little boat. Everybody passes us, and we get there, and there's 11 spots in our favorite area. Like 11 boats in our favorite area.
Yeah.
So
We didn't have any of our primary stuff at all. Like, we drove around looking for a spot to fish and had nothing. And that's when we realized that secondary stuff was what we had to go on, and that's what we rolled with, was all the secondary spots.
So did you get in there on your main spots day 2, or you didn't get them?
we couldn't. I mean, it was relentless. We could tell, like, after day 1 and then getting there on day 2 that pressure was going to shut that whole area down. So Brian and I just fell back on what we knew over the years, stuff that we hadn't hit in a while, and we knew those fish were going to move off those areas and hit some secondary spots. And fortunately, when you put a lot of time in and you're not stealing spots out there, you're able to learn some other areas that are similar to those. And fortunately, the bigger fish were hanging out at those spots.
It really paid off.
And we were just talking about that. I had somebody working. We had found smallies during the week when my tournament partner did, and there was a lot of fish there during the week. And I had somebody move right in on me on day 1 at 10 after 8, and then blast their engine off right over top of their fish when we asked them to get out of the way.
Yeah.
So the previous weekend out there, because I'm dumb enough to have a boat wrap on my boat that sticks out like a sore thumb, I had people cut in on me all weekend, like cottager anglers and other anglers. So eventually I said I'm going to stop pre-fishing because I'm just giving spots away to other people. So what do you think? What should be? Is there rules that we can do to deal with this, or is this just part of the game?
That's just, it's part of the game, right? How do you ignore it? I mean, you know that the guys are doing well. You look at guys like Hubble and the Johnsons. I mean, I think at that point, if you're catching them, you got to get smart about how you pre-fish and how you maneuver yourself around the lake. So Brian and I, there's spots we'll never go near unless we're in a tournament now. Like, we won't, even for going out for fun on a weekday, if we take friends out, there's spots out there we just won't touch unless it's a tournament.
Yep, and that makes sense. That's probably a good plan. And when basically we sent Marley out to pre-fish during the week because he has a boat that nobody knows about.
Well, they do now.
Yeah, well, they do now.
I was in it,
yeah.
and I heard guys on the water say, "Hey, there's that other FearFishing boat." And here come 2 tin boats right on top of us on our first spot on day 2.
And when, I don't mind cottage anglers at all. I don't care if you can come,
except for the 5-pound stringers.
Yeah, well, that's kind of heartbreaking.
You still gotta catch them.
That's right.
That's what it comes down to. You still gotta catch those fish, and those big fish are very old and very smart. Like, very smart.
Absolutely.
I would not underestimate those fish whatsoever. And like, how you age a fish out there is really interesting. It's basically the way you age a tree.
Yeah.
And I did some last year. I did one last year. It was a 5.2, and that fish was between 14 and 15 years old.
Yeah.
We actually last year on Brighton Bay, I caught a largemouth that was 5 and change that had one of those Queen's University tags in it, and we called it in. And that fish was released in 2013. Yeah. At the Big Bass Challenge in Belleville, and swam all the way back to Brighton Bay, and they said the same thing, that fish was 14 or 15 years old, and he'd put on 1.5 pounds since he had been weighed in.
Wow, that's crazy.
The fish was like 3.5 pounds.
That's a long swim down the Murray Canal.
Yeah, that is a long swim.
Especially for a largemouth. And I thought forever, in my mind, I thought that if when smallmouth get released, that they go back, and I always assumed that a largemouth would go to the next main feeding ground and park his ass, and that'd be it. But it's got to be a 50-mile swim.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's a pretty long swim. I've never heard of swim that far.
Yeah, especially through that canal. Like, it's not even open water.
Yeah,
like, it's totally different.
Yeah, for sure. So that is a big thing, is that these big fish they've probably been caught and released. They've probably seen every bait on the planet go by them, and it's really about outsmarting them. What do you think? What are you using for baits? Can you tell us? We don't need to know colors or.
Yeah, no, it's pretty straightforward, right? Like, your drop shot tube, or like, if you got to slow down, there's fish in the area. Spinner bait and jerk bait. When you're looking for fish, those are our go-tos all the time. With regards to color, it's simple. You just, you match your environment. I remember KBD talking about that. He said, look, like, if the water's green, use green. If it's dark brown, use brown.
The bait fish are going to try to blend themselves in, right? They're going to try to hide. They don't want to stand out like a sore thumb, and that's basically what we do. We try to keep it as simple as we can. As simple.
And I think that's a great point for anybody listening at home, is that lots of times when you go to the fishing store, it's overcomplicating it, trying to sell you baits. To keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it real simple. If you looked in our trays, it's the same colors. Like, it's not many colors. So.
And the other thing is that when you do find a really good product, to stay with that product and that, like, confidence, right?
Yeah.
Now that you guys took home the big check, is there a new boat in the future?
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely looking pretty hard right now at something a little bit bigger, something a little bit more, something that will blend in with everybody else. Thinking like a black boat or a black red. Yeah. With a Mercury engine.
He just showed me one when I showed up, and I was like, oh my god, that's a gorgeous boat.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, maybe next year. Time's tight. It's hard to work in a new boat, right? So, probably finish the season with this lucky little boat, and we'll see what happens for next year.
You've had that boat a long time. Like, I can't ever remember you fishing tournaments without that boat.
Yeah, it's the only boat I've ever had. We paid, I don't know, it was like a long time ago we paid, I can't remember what I paid for it. So, like US dollars, and the thing, that was at a time when boats were a lot cheaper, and now they're way more expensive.
That's the thing. Like, you don't have to have that 21-foot Ranger to go out there and catch 22 pounds on Rice Lake.
Yeah.
It's not, I like the fact that guys are still bringing the old boats, especially like what Lucas Kemp is doing.
Yep.
Like the restoring and all that kind of stuff. That's cool to me.
Yeah, that boat's got to be worth a pretty penny to those restoration guys.
Yeah.
We've learned how to fish out of it. That's ultimately what it comes down to. I'm sure if you threw us at a 21-footer, I've only been in one ever, and it was like a ship. I was like lost fishing in it. It was totally different. Very different.
Yeah, it is very different, and it's basically just the same thing, shrunken down a little bit. My tournament partners, I have a 21-foot boat, and he's basically a ballerina dancer, and he uses the whole 21 feet. So if we had one like yours, he'd spend half the day in the lake, because he'll flip a dock at the front, and then when I'll look at him, and he'll run to the back of the boat.
Sets the hook, and he's standing on the engine.
It's unreal. and he lays the rods all across the deck, so it looks like, football tryouts when you're doing the thing down the... And then
Yeah.
So... It's not a ship, and like we probably have as much casting deck room as you do when he gets like by 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it's on the hook set. If you're at the front, you're pretty much at the back of the boat by the end of the hook set. So.
Yeah, for sure. So, let's talk about MPS, your day job.
Yeah. Big day today. Actually, we just launched version 3. If anybody's listening and knows the story about MPS, we started in 2011, in November 2011, and we're like 10 brands, and today we're all over the U.S. and Canada. We got over 600 brands using the site, and we got a really slick new platform that we launched today. We got a mobile app coming out here pretty soon that's going to follow up, and it's going to be pretty cool. Make the experience a lot better than it is today.
Now, for everybody who doesn't know, and there's not very many people these days, explain to everybody at home what MPS is. FearFishing Apparel Company's on there, by the way.
Yeah. I mean... We started out as a platform that helps brands recruit people, manage them, and then highlight them. I mean, for me, when I was younger, I was sponsored by Rapala. No one knew who I was. It was really hard to get sponsored. There's no scouts on the water looking for the next guy. So, obviously there was an opportunity to highlight sponsored anglers that otherwise are just known by their friends or their local anglers. And then when I worked for Rapala in their corporate office, I realized that even managing that group of people was a challenge. So, really good opportunity to use, current technology to make that whole, connection between the brand, the angler, and then the average angler that just wants to learn. I think MPS has become an amazing resource for anybody looking to learn. I mean, I use it. You might have noticed you said earlier, like in the last 3 years, you've noticed that I've gotten better. And that's probably because I look at NPS every single day and I learn so much on there. So
it's really like a Facebook for fishing, except companies are watching. Like we're always looking on there for, we post on there, but we also read anglers' profiles and see who's doing what. And it's, a great way for people to see you, not just sponsors, but other people.
Yeah. I mean, for anglers like us, it really is like the LinkedIn of fishing.
Yeah, that's a better example.
Friendships and connections have been made on there that otherwise would never happen unless NPS exists. I mean, if you look at Cooper, let's talk about Cooper for a second. The kid is phenomenal. He's probably, him and Danny there, probably going to be the next Johnson brothers. We better get some wins under our belt here soon because they're going to start cleaning up. I remember when he joined NPS as an amp. Just this kid out of Bowmanville, and he'd probably be pretty embarrassed if I told you this, but we did a show in Niagara once, and a little girl came up and said, "Is Cooper around?" He's like the little Justin Bieber of fishing.
We call him Justin Bieber.
I mean, stories like that are pretty awesome, and I think if you ask him, he'll tell you that NPS was kind of where he started. So
that's awesome. And if you go on there, there's all kinds of great anglers, and there's always something to learn about. And there, you guys have saltwater anglers, so you can read articles.
And big names,
and big names, yep.
There's big names on there.
It's huge.
It is a very cool website. I like checking it out. I'm glad to be part of it. I get a ton of messages, and it's a great way for people to watch the podcast. We post that on there, and it's a very handy tool. And it's exactly like the LinkedIn of fishing.
Yeah.
Exactly what it is. And anybody who doesn't like it, I tell people all the time, it's just because we didn't come up with this idea.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I totally wish all the time. I was like, man, that's such a good idea. Shit.
Yeah.
Haters gonna hate.
We started. I'll be the first to admit, right? You got to start somewhere, and a lot of the content that was being shared was very local. So I think in the beginning, it was small. People felt that it was more of a spot kind of website, and we always knew and felt that the real vision was the community it's turned into today, where guys are more just sharing general information, not so much spots.
Yep.
And I think that's the key to learning is putting the puzzle together on your own, not just being given a waypoint or a spot. So
absolutely,
NPS gives you the info you need for that.
Well, gentlemen, what's up for the rest of the year?
We got
Big Rideau.
Yeah, we got Big Rideau, of course. We're super excited about that. FLW is awesome, man. I can't say enough about what Corey's put together there.
Amazing experience. Amazing.
It has a good atmosphere. That's what we were talking earlier too. That it has a good atmosphere to, the guys stuck around to watch weigh-in.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Just an amazing experience.
Yeah, put our win aside. Brian and I said that was our classic this summer, and I've never been that excited going into a tournament in a long time. So I think it's important that it sticks around, and I think it's important too that as anglers we've heard it for years. Guys are always complaining we don't have anything cool and big to fish. Well,
here's an opportunity.
I'm going to call out all these anglers that say that and say let's step up to the plate and let's all fish this if we want something cool, because they're not going to come back if we don't support it.
And that's right. This is the opportunity. The one-day tournaments are awesome, and they're a great way to get people into tournaments. But we need a show here. This is it.
Yeah. I think Andy runs a great series. I'm not taking away from that series. I'll continue to fish that. But the team tournament for this kind of money in a series like that with an FLW title.
And 2 days fishing back to back. It's just an amazing experience. What we did on the first day with 22 and change was amazing fishing. But what highlighted that whole experience for us, and I was shaking going in to the weigh-in, was the fact that we got them the second day and how it all unfolded, and the stage with the people and bringing everything together. It was incredible.
I think Vandermeer and Slew definitely made it interesting. And
that was a nail biter. That was awesome.
I actually remember you guys coming in, and I said, "Hey, did you get him?" And I remember the look on Brian's face, and I don't know if it was like, oh my God, we just fucking won, or if it was I don't know. I have no idea.
We didn't know.
We watched those guys. Those guys are class acts. basically shared water out there. It was super civil.
Yeah.
We both basically agreed if we're gonna win, it's gonna be on skill, and if we gotta share some areas, then let the fishing do the talking, not so much the spot. So those guys are awesome. Really excited to compete against them again.
They're amazing.
Even with Scott, and
Scott Berry
and
Steve.
and Steve Wisniewski. Those guys are awesome too. I mean, there's a couple times where we both got close, and the sportsmanship out there is awesome. So I mean, those guys are friends for life for me, as far as I'm concerned.
The 2-day event makes it exciting because you could still, it brings a little more drama to it. We're gonna get into some tough tournaments where a lot of movement is going to be made. Even if you have a bad day one, everything can flip flop on a day two.
Yeah,
it creates.
I doubled my weight.
It wasn't hard, was it?
No, not hard at all.
But there will be some. There's going to be some dramatics fishing 2-day tournaments, and there's going to be some guys who get big weights on day one, and day two it just doesn't go at all for them, and then. Somebody who has an average bag day one, you're still in it because you just get that big day and 2 or 3 teams shit the bed and you're right there.
Yeah.
It gives it's more, I like fishing 1-day tournaments, but this gives a little more, you really got to clean up to win a 2-day.
Yeah.
With 15 minutes left in the day, we were ready to cry. So, 2 days are crazy. It's awesome.
At noon on day 2, we were down and out and felt like we were losing it. And then if it was any other day, it would have been totally different. The mentality on all we need is another 2 or 3 fish.
Yep.
But because of where we were sitting in our position, we felt like we were going to lose this tournament. Like we were down and out of it.
Yeah, we were out of control. I mean, the stuff we were doing is completely unnatural. Like things you would never.
We hadn't run in 5 or 6 years. Like not even on the spots. We were pulling up on spots, just running around, trying to find stuff.
Yeah, it was completely unnatural. And then with about an hour and a half left, we just looked at each other like, we got to stop this. We got to fish the way we fish. And then fortunately, Brian made a call there in the last few minutes, in the last hour, and we both felt really good about it and
pulled up to a spot. It was really crazy, the energy that we felt between us pulling up to the spot. We looked at each other and we were like, we're going to get it done right here, right now, and win 16 grand. It's going to happen right here.
That's awesome.
It was unreal. It was serious. Like I can't even describe it. It was like you felt it through your whole body. You went from 0 to just on cloud 9, like you're gonna crush it. And then it all
just came together. Yeah.
I wish there was cameras in the boat. We got to get there at some point where there's literally non-stop cameras in the boats.
Well, you can borrow the
TV. All that happened right there, and the way it ended was us calling a fish, rods everywhere in the boat, mayhem, trying to have with 3-4 pounders trying to scale them. And throwing it back in the water and being like, we got to go now. We're not going to make it. And gone.
And that's awesome. That's I'm so excited to do the podcast where people get to hear this story.
Yeah.
It's stories like this that are motivating. And, if we think about the numbers, I've said over and over again, there's less than 1,000 tournament anglers in Ontario. And there's probably there's 13.1 million people in Ontario. So there's got to be at least another 10,000 guys sitting at home who needed to hear a story like this to get off the couch, jump in whatever boat you possibly have, pre-fish a little,
for sure,
read as much as you can on fishing, and get out there and compete.
Yeah.
Yeah. And get your ass handed to you early.
I know all about that.
If you guys missed that, Rich just said, I know all about that.
So do we.
We know all about it. We were always in the bottom. I mean, our goal every year was let's try to get 10 places higher. And then one day we got our first check. And then it turned into, okay, all we want to do is win a medal. We were obsessed about getting a CSFL medal for 2 years. And then once that happened, it was like, okay, we're good. Let's keep growing here.
And that's the thing. I got a bunch of CSF medal here and top bass trophies, and I got my ass handed to me for years. Marley and I always joke that we're more like Gerald Swindle. That we're pretty consistent and we have a lot of top 10s, but we suck at winning. We just never finish very well. And there's some guys who seem to do really well and win, or you never see them. And you know, I think this kind of conversation and this kind of, you know, you're going to get your ass handed to you, but you're going to find your role in fishing, and you're going to find your role in tournaments and what you're good at, and you know, your confident spot. But you got to start somewhere. And unfortunately, in fishing, unless you're really lucky, it's probably at the ass end of the pack, and it's an uphill climb from there.
Yeah. Like 54th.
That's what you got?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and you'll appreciate it more, right? When you finally do win, you'll remember all those days that you just donated forever. So.
Absolutely.
I first started fishing with Dan, and I think we had 13 pounds or 12 pounds our first tournament. And I honestly thought that we were going to win that. And like, I thought we were some of the best, amazing. And then showing up, and I think it might have been Danny, Don, or Chong, and I watched them pull these giant smallmouth out of their box. My jaw dropped. I was like, how did you guys even catch one of those like that? Like, we don't even have one.
I wanted to take a picture with them. I didn't even know the guys. I was like, I want to just get a picture with these.
And that's awesome.
Unbelievable.
And I shared a post about Lucas Kemp, who is in his first year of tournaments, and it's only his partner's second one, and they weighed in. They told me, I was kind of bummed they ended day one because I felt I should have done better, and I talked to them, and they were the happiest guy I'd ever seen in the world. And they were just telling me, you know, our goal is just to get, you know, a pound more than we had in the last tournament. And he came in day 2, and he was probably more excited than you guys were, and he only had 11 and change.
And he blew his motor.
And he blew up his motor.
Again.
So he was, and you know, and I thought, geez, if we just had 100 more of you guys, then this would be really rolling. But all he said is, he stood around, watched everybody weigh in. You guys won. You guys got off the stage, and Lucas turned around and looked at me, and he said, I have to go rebuild my motor. I'll talk to you later. And he was gone.
That's a great attitude. He's good for him, man.
That's right. And, you know, it's going to take him some time, and he's going to do some learning, but he's going to get there. He had 2 really good fish day 2.
2 4-pounders.
I think he had 11 pounds, and he only brought in 3 fish. So it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can't get discouraged. I think a lot of guys fish 1 or 2 seasons and they quit because it didn't happen for them. It's going to probably take a little longer than that.
Yeah, for sure.
And Lucas has never fished out there either.
No, he's never fished rice.
No, I came in and I'm like, man, I can't believe I did this. And he's like, this is a great lake. And I'm like, what'd you weigh in? And he's like 9 pounds or whatever. And I was like, wow, I really got to check my attitude at the door here. You know?
Yeah.
And you know, so guys, I want to congratulate you. Yeah. That was an amazing win. It was amazing to watch you guys weigh in, and Dan with your hands over your face, and you couldn't even look at the scoreboard, the weight scale there. That was awesome, guys.
Jumping in the air.
Jumping in the air.
Yeah. It's a good job you're short. You would have knocked your head.
Does anybody have film of that? Because I honestly don't remember any of that. I posted on MPS my recap, and I mean it. I'd love to see video because I blanked out as soon as I saw the scale at 21.
I'll send some text messages later on. We'll see if we can track that down for you, my man.
I'm sure somebody has.
Somebody's got to have it.
I'll keep it to myself. I want to see what happened. I have no idea what happened. I was so excited.
Oh, we all saw it. Don't worry.
And it was awesome.
Look, watch. I'll recap it right here for you. And then there was a jump.
I honestly don't remember the jump. I have no idea that I did. So.
Yeah.
You guys, I know, Dan, you're going on a trip. Have a great time. Thanks for joining us. I hope you guys will come back. Best of luck at the FLW Championship and the rest of your season, guys. And Brian, you too. Keep them in line.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Right, see you guys.
Take care.
Have a good one.
Have a good one, guys. Later.
See ya.
Good attitudes right there.
Oh, yeah,
awesome.
for sure.
That must have been tough, day 2 going in and
not seeing any weight.
What? And guys being on your spot and being like, oh, shit. And that's why I didn't run down there.
I know roughly where those guys were, and there was like 30, 40 boats.
I know exactly where they were, and that's why we didn't run down there.
Yeah.
I assume they were kind of going to move.
We never did ask him about not being on Facebook either.
Oh, shit.
That's right. Well, he'll probably be.
Yeah, he'll watch this.
See this.
IMS, Brian. Let us
Brian,
know.
we want to know why.
Do we got anything on the IM board?
It's pretty quiet tonight.
It's pretty quiet tonight?
Yeah, it's just Lucas Kemp and Jamie Bragg.
Nice, lighten it up.
Lighten her up.
Amber, how was your night at work?
It was busy.
It was busy, eh?
Yeah.
Amber, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, Amber. Welcome.
She's not on here
Do
yet.
I even have
but
the camera?
I don't know. Does she
yeah,
have the
yeah,
camera?
it's up there.
Yeah, you
It's
can
up
see you
there.
there.
Yeah, you're there.
So let's jump in there. So I want to talk about something new I tried today, which
you try
is
today?
Pokemon Go.
Oh.
I did download it.
You
Yeah, you
told
did.
the kids that they were not allowed to play it.
Yeah,
That's
I know,
right.
but
And he's not a kid.
Forbidden it.
I had to see what all the hustle and bustle and fuss was about. We are, if anybody would like to add me as a Poke Master, it's FearFishing. I'm just throwing that out there.
You calling yourself a master already?
Well, I think that's what you
He
are.
doesn't even know what it's called. but
No, I
you
don't.
know.
But I think that's what it asked me. What would your master
Right
nickname
after the
be?
show, Ian's
I
going.
did catch a
Don't say
Squirtosaurus.
it. He caught something.
What?
A Squirtosaurus.
But
I
more
think that's what it's
importantly,
Squirtosaurus.
he caught it at work.
I caught it at work in the parking lot during lunch, and I haven't seen anything since. But the principle of the game is
I'm pretty sure you have to go around people's like backyards and shit.
I have no idea, but it's a whole lot like hunting and fishing. There's kids getting outside. There's
Oh yeah.
Why don't
kids
we
getting
make
outside.
why don't we make one for fishing and deer and bear and stuff?
Well, you probably shouldn't say that in front of the whole world.
Oh,
You know,
Yeah.
There goes that billion-dollar idea.
Another one thrown away.
Yeah.
But it's basically, you know, when you got to walk around and you got to find the Pokemon on your little ball, but it's not a whole lot different than how to catch fish or how to shoot a deer, or it's actually, you know, getting kids outside. So it's not the end of the world. You can catch fish Pokemon.
It's really just geocaching when you think about it, right?
What is that?
What? Who?
It's geocaching.
It's
I don't know what
old
that
people
is.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Geocaching.
Could you explain that to us,
I
Mike?
don't even do it, but my partner, my helper at work is right into it. They go all over the place geocaching. What it is it's a bunch of coordinates that people put on this big geocaching site, and people have hidden
Could you
these
explain geocaching, like geocache,
Johnny?
like
Cache?
your like Navionics chip kind of deal?
Well, it's like with
GPS?
a GPS.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a GPS, and they have these coordinates, and it'll take you, and there's like little trinkets and stuff that are hidden in trees or whatever. It's like a little treasure hunt kind of thing.
It's
Like
the exact
real
same thing.
shit?
It's real. It's
Yeah.
huge, but it's
Really?
huge,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
big.
all over
Never
the world.
heard of this.
It's all over the world.
Really?
It's massive.
We're gonna Google this, people.
Geocaching.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get
Yeah,
on that one.
maybe we'll do this.
And my
We might
helper,
as
he's
well
got,
while
like,
I'm looking for
what the hell?
Pokemon.
he's on like number 650
Wow.
or something like that.
Alright.
He's going to New Brunswick next week. He's going nuts.
just for this.
Well, no, he's got family down
Oh,
there.
okay.
but-
Well then.
Now let's throw this out
That's an
there.
excuse.
Yeah.
During the week here, what was it? Tundra Dave. What's that guy's new nickname?
A frozen tundra.
Frozen
Frozen
Tundra.
Tundra.
Yeah.
Who's
That's
this?
Scott. That's
Scott.
Scotty. Frozen
Oh,
Tundra.
Frozen
The guys
Yeah,
from
we got it from a couple of Southerners. Dustin.
now Frozen
Petricide.
Tundra. You bought some big tickets this weekend. Tell us about
Oh
this.
yeah, I bought
Ooh.
tickets for October 29th at the General Motors Center. My wife and I are going to see Our Lady Peace and I
Boom.
Mother Earth.
And being
I Mother Earth. That's taking it back.
Yeah,
You know, I
Yeah,
Mother
yeah,
Earth. They
man.
did one of those free shows in Peterborough.
Oh, and you
What?
just
Yeah,
paid.
they did. Yeah.
They did.
And you just paid.
I just paid.
I
What the heck?
Damn it.
And Gowan. I miss Gowan. I'm so upset with that.
Bob Mahoney from Shimano Canada is a big fan of I Mother Earth.
Is he?
Really?
Yeah, he posted a lot of stuff going on Facebook leading up
Nice.
to that show. He's a big fan. The now, what else did you do? Frozen Tundra.
Frozen Tundra. Yes. What else did I do? Yeah, last
Did you not go to a concert this week?
Friday we went to see Vince Neil and Platinum Blonde.
Wow,
Yes.
that would've
And
been
where did
awesome.
you where did
We're
you see
going
that?
back. We're going back.
Okay, I'll give you props for Vince.
I should
Neil,
be
but-
saying
Yeah.
these stories, shouldn't I? Not this guy.
yeah.
Platinum
Now-
Blonde.
Well, I
Holy
asked
my.
Mark. I said, "Hey, I'm going here and watching these bands." I said, "But you're probably too old to know who they are."
Well,
Oh, I know. We have the same clothes.
Oh shit!
We got a.
Wait,
a
what
couple
did,
of-
did Vince Neil do the Motley Crue songs? What did he
did
sing?
Motley Crue songs,
and then his
and-
own, like the spin
and then a couple of their own, and the two other guys were doing some Zeppelin.
But isn't he doing like country now?
Not really.
Okay, we're
It's
gonna
kind
put
of like
an end to
slower.
that. If
Yeah,
we're not
yeah,
talking
right,
God's
yeah.
Dream
Come
on
on.
this podcast.
Anyway,
Last summer we got to go see the Foo Fighters, talking to awesome concerts.
Yeah.
I like going to concerts. You know, the big thing about fishing so many tournaments also and being so busy here is we don't get to do that kind of stuff. We went to see the Foo Fighters, and we got to see Dave Grohl in the
Chair.
throne in the chair with the broken leg.
Yeah.
oh right, yeah.
And they actually showed the video during the concert of him breaking his leg and the
Yeah.
the Swedish guy holding it
Yeah.
Well, he was like, so they're showing it on there. And I may not get the story all right because I ingested a lot of alcohol by the time he told the story.
Yeah, for sure.
But basically, he fell off the stage, so the guy's holding his leg, and Dave is like, I got to go back on the stage. And
Yeah.
he's like, you can't. Your leg's busted. Somebody has to still hold it. And he looked at and he was drinking Jack Daniels out of a bottle.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, my friend, you're coming with me. So they show video of him rocking out in a chair while this Swedish guy holds his leg.
Nice.
Rock, a hero.
We got a couple of questions here on the IM.
Okay, let's throw them out there.
Okay, so we got Alex Hardy. What's a good way to find willing partners?
Willing
he
partners,
mentioned
like in life
FLW.
partners?
Well, I don't know Alex,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I won't throw that one out there. That was a Scott Walton dig, but
Yeah. Wow.
he wants to know
Frozen
basically how do you find willing
I
partners?
think
Guys?
the biggest thing about finding a good partner is somebody who can who has some time, who's got some money, and
Yeah.
who you get along with.
Yeah, for sure.
You're going to spend a lot of time with this person. I met
And
Marley.
you're gonna fight with these people,
I
and you're
yeah.
probably gonna try and kill them with a broken rod.
I fished probably
Ike style.
95% of the
No.
tournaments I ever fished
style.
with Marley, and I met him at the river when we were 10 or 11 years old,
Yeah,
and we just always fished together.
nice. Oh, speaking of Bob Mahoney, I broke a crucial this weekend, Bob.
Yeah, just,
We
we did see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the big thing is you got to get out there, you got to meet people, post it on Facebook, go
Oh,
fishing
yeah.
with the guy a couple times, get to know him, become friends.
Join a bass
You
club.
join a bass club. I think the big thing is you don't have to have the partner who's the greatest fisherman in the
Go on,
world. You just
plenty
need
of
somebody who's
fish.
going to work hard with you.
We have plenty of fish. Jeez,
Looking
don't do
for a
that.
fishing? No, probably not.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Jamie Bragg wants to know how old you are, Scott. I told him you were
Really?
40.
We're close. We're close.
I don't know.
37.
37.
Ooh,
Frozen
Scott,
time.
Said he
we're the
didn't know
same
you
age.
were that
38
old.
in September.
He said he didn't know you were so
Bro,
old.
September
Really?
the what?
Yeah.
20th.
Scott, you're not that much younger than I am.
No, I'm not.
Oh, come
This-
on. There's
this
like
change.
15 years there.
15. There's 7.
Yeah.
That's a
7
long
years.
time. That's great too.
Yeah.
Are you 45?
That's great,
I'm
too.
45 next month.
How, what,
I'm
how,
37.
How
Day
old-
before
No,
Ian's.
October.
August 11th,
how,
buddy.
how old are you going to be?
I'm going to be 45.
Wow.
And I'm going to be 34. So you got 11 years
We
on
should
me.
probably do
That's
another
right.
night out
I
for
should,
that.
I should get a little more respect, I think.
We should do like another tequila night out. For
Yeah.
that.
Respect is earned, my
Joan
friend.
and
guys
I.
can.
Yeah,
August
I get
12th.
to buy it and you guys get to drink it.
that would be awesome, Mark.
Yeah.
And
for
I-
your birthday.
And I'm going to dance with the
Sponsored
ladies.
by Mark Hunter.
Yeah.
And Ian's gonna dance with Joan and
Yeah,
not me.
for sure.
I'll dance with you this time.
Thanks, Mark.
I got your back, Scott.
Maybe we should go for crab first.
Do we have any more?
Whoa.
What am I
questions?
doing here?
It's not your birthday, pal.
Not really.
Do you want me to do
Okay.
the IM
Not
board,
really.
or are you,
No,
you
we're
good
cool.
to go?
So
All
we're
right.
just getting
My-
fired.
We're,
job has
we're
been
gonna go
taken.
through a couple more things here, and then I think we're gonna call it a show. It is.
Emma
know-
and I went to Keith Urban
Yeah,
couple
nobody
weeks ago.
cares.
There was a lot of drunk people. and Emma got really upset about it.
Yeah.
I felt really young there. In
They were taking so many people
Platinum Blonde
out.
concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Security was taking
Wow.
all these drunk people away.
So, new app that I found for podcasts.
Yes.
It's called the Podcast Addict.
And the FearFishing webcast.
And the
is on that.
FearFishing webcast is on there, along with their favorite Joe Rogan experience,
Yes.
which I was listening to today when I couldn't sleep.
Amazing.
But ridiculous podcast. If anyone hasn't checked it out, go.
Yes.
But
so we're
I
on
tried.
there.
I tried to get SoundCloud, and I couldn't bring up any webcasts for SoundCloud. So I was just kind of going through all the apps, and then I had to.
We'll post the link somewhere.
Yeah, we'll post it up somewhere.
People
But
can
it's called Podcast Addict, anyways, and it works really well for the Android devices. So
That's awesome to hear. Unfortunately, we're gonna end the webcast on a bit of a sad note. We had 2 passing aways this week in the
Yeah.
fishing world here in our area. That Mr. Terry Curtis, who wrote in the local paper here in Port Hope and was a tournament angler, passed away, and Ed Baker, who we fished a lot of tournaments against over the years. So we want to send our condolences out to the families. Since I was about 10 years old, I read Terry's articles in the Evening Guide in Port Hope.
yeah, something's going on with your
I
mic
don't
there.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is
It's
it working?
a little better. We can hear you at least.
So, that's send the condolences out to the family. And yeah, there's something going on. Somebody must pull my plug out. So, when I was a kid, I read the Terry Curtis's article every week in the Port Hope Evening Guide, and probably something that inspired me to do this stuff. That's both are terrible losses for the fishing industry, and they'll both be sadly missed. So, till the next one, guys. Next one is number 30.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Wow.
exciting.
It is exciting.
I'm pumped. Number 30. This is awesome. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure you go to the FearFishing Apparel website. Use the webcast discount code. Save yourself 10%.
New hashtags.
Brian and Dan, best of luck in the rest of your season. Thanks so much for joining us. And everybody else, thanks for tuning in, guys, in the
Eat Big
studio.
Chief.
Eat Big Chief Meat Snacks. Thanks so much for all your guys' help over the last 30 shows. I really appreciate it. This has been really awesome. And we will see you in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you.
Boom.
Good night.